The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Hello everybody! Welcome back to my YT channel. This is again I'm a singer, Eternal Voice. Oh my god. Are we ready now for our next topic for our live streaming at this point in time? Oh my gosh. As I promised a while ago, okay, previously discussing about the health data, and at this point in time we'll be able to talk about another topic with regards to the environmental system. Oh my gosh. Okay, ganon. So this is more general because this is all about the environment. Okay, so this is talking about the planet Earth, the compost of the land, the water or the water surface, and the atmosphere. Okay, so let's talk about environment. Oh my gosh. Environmental sustainability. Okay. So to achieve environmental sustainability, we should undergo and develop a program of waste management system and waste minimization program. Okay. To nurture and care our environment for the next generation. Generation to generations. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's gonna be environment, okay, system, okay, like this, okay, or environmental system, right? Or let's just say this as the environment itself, right? No need to put system, okay, like that, okay, environment, okay, like that. So focusing on the land, okay. The land composed primarily of the Earth's crust, okay. Earth's crust, okay, in which the minerals are found, different types of minerals, okay. That's why we have the study of metallurgy and mining and also the geology, right? We have geologists that study the land, Earth's crust, okay, the geological formation of the stones, something like that. We have also the study of seismology, okay, pertaining to the vibration of the Earth's crust, which is the earthquake, right? Something like that. So it's all about the land. So Earth's crust. C-R-U-S-T, right? It is correct, the spelling of crust. Oh. Number 2 is water. Water meaning here is the body of surface. Body, water, surface, or surface, water. Okay, this is okay, river. Okay, ocean. Okay, sea. Okay, lake. Okay, the creek, okay, like that. Whatever, a dam, it's also a water, right? Dam, D-A-M. Okay, a source of water. Okay, what else? A lot, right? Or shall we say the running water we have, the potable water we have, the processed water we have, the fire water we have, and also we have this rain. Right? Rain, due to the process of water vapor, the process of evaporation going back to condensation, and again condensation going back to evaporation, water vapor, something like that. So it will produce the rain. Okay, rain. We have rainwater. Okay, or rain is just equal, right? But we have to add water to make it safe technically. Rainwater. Ganon. Okay, that's water. And now we have the atmosphere or the air. Air talks about the atmosphere. Okay, so in here we have the gases. Okay, the gases and the vapors. Okay, like that. Or shall we say the aerosols, You know that one, the mists, MIST is the, you know, the liquid droplets of any liquids, okay? Like suspended in air, mga aerosols, mga ganon-ganon, chupa-chupa, okay? And other traces of gases. This is air. Other traces of gases meaning a lot that cannot be identified unless we will get sample, okay, and analyze that in the laboratory for the, you know, mixtures of gases in our atmosphere. Okay, because in reality we don't have perfect combination of gas or air already, in which the God gave to us. Before, a long, long time ago, in the study of chemistry, we have 79% of nitrogen gas and 21% of oxygen gas. But now it has been changed due to industrial revolution in 1800s, because so many power plants producing gaseous okay, components in the air, hazardous air pollutants, like that, air contaminants, airborne contaminants, sprays, insecticides, like that, CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, the greenhouse gases, the carbon monoxide released gases by the vehicles and automobiles, something like that. Okay, it will contaminate the purity of our oxygen, like that, because oxygen is very reactive. No problem with the nitrogen, so really can siya react because inert gas or noble gas. But this oxygen is very reactive, highly reactive, that produces also its flammability characteristic of this oxygen. Okay? Due to that. Okay, highly reactive and flammable. So siya Perdian will react. For example, SO2, sulfur dioxide, cuprous oxide, okay, manganese dioxide, okay, dinitrogen gas or the laughing gas, okay, something like that. Carbon dioxide or the greenhouse gases. Okay, carbon monoxide, the incomplete combustion gas. Okay, incomplete. Okay, if you have incomplete combustion, carbon monoxide will be released to the atmosphere. Okay, because the complete combustion gas is the carbon dioxide or the greenhouse gases. Okay, so we don't have a perfect 79 and 21 ratio of air in our atmosphere. Okay, so the ideality has been reduced. So dili na siya ideal gas. Okay? Practically, non-ideal gas we have now in our atmosphere. A combination of a lots of traces of gases. Okay? Ganun siya. Nakakaloka, diba? Okay. Okay. So based on my research, okay, I do a personal research, okay, being a chemical engineer, so I have to intensify my knowledge also, my knowledge in school, then that was 20 years ago, then I have to accumulate another learnings also. So it has been varied through generation to generation, and now theoretically and chemically we have 78.08% of nitrogen. Okay, we have 21 point something, 95. Okay, 21. It's not 21 anymore because by common sense it's 21 originally given by God. 21% oxygen. It will less than because it will become 20.095%. Pati mga point ako dyan di-memorized. Okay? 20.095%. We have also the ganon until it will become argon. We have also the argon. Okay, point something, 0.45%, something like that. And we have also the argon and other traces of gases. Okay, we have argon nausap na siya. Okay na siya 8% ko sa argon. And now we have also 0.98% of, okay, other gases and other traces of gases. A total of 100%. Ganon. This is a lot of contamination of gases, traces of gases in our atmosphere now. Okay, so these are all about environment. Okay, the habitat that all living organisms, okay, plants, animals, okay, and other, and other types of animals, okay, like reptilia, the reptiles, the amphibia, the species, the bird, okay, that's belong to the family of species. And then the amphibia, reptilia, ganun siya, okay? And the mammalia. Okay, you know mammalia? Okay, such as the an ape, the gorilla, and the human being or the monkey is under mammalia, kingdom mammalia. Okay, reptilia are those crocodiles like that. Okay, amphibia, reptilia, mga ganun siya. Okay, so that's under biology, right? So the kingdom of species, S-P-E-C-I-E, species. Okay, like that. So a lot. Okay, it's under our habitat. Okay, in the land. Okay, normally these animals will not live without the water, and normally this will not survive without the air. Okay, they're living in the land. At the same time, they cannot survive without the water, and also they cannot survive without the presence of the air because they need to breathe oxygen. All living organisms, okay, abiotic or biotic organisms, okay, needs oxygen, something like that. All of us, even though the earthworm, caterpillar, butterfly, all types of living organisms needs oxygen, and they derive that to our atmosphere, which is the air. Okay, ganon. Now, we need to study in the environment the environmental chemistry. Okay, it's very good. Environmental chemistry. Okay, like that. It's very broad actually, guys, because in this type 1 and type 2, there's a lot of courses in here. Okay, a lot. But these are all covered by the environmental scientists. Okay, this, for example, land, we have the geologist, metallurgist, the mining engineers, like that, right? And then for the water, a lot also, marine biologists, something like that. Or the BS biology students, the ganon. Okay, or any chupa-chupa. And then the air also, we have a lot of courses for that. We have the BS chemistry, or like that. Okay, we have the chemical engineer also, study that. Okay, so that's for the air. But these are all under the environment, environmental chemistry. So broad ang environmental chemistry, guys. Okay, environmental chemistry. Okay, so ano siya? Ang general or ang totality is the environmental chemistry in all the habitat that we live. The land, the water, and the air. O ganon. So, environmental chemistry is the environment. Okay, ganon siya. Okay, guys? Now, in environment, guys, we need to understand the other terminologies of environment. Environment is also the same as surrounding. Okay, take note, surrounding. And then also considers as our habitat. These are all another terms or synonymous terms in English. Okay, habitat, surrounding, environment, and the most appropriate technically is the term ecology. Okay, when you mean of ecology, that is the environment. So it differs only how you use it in a sentence, but it means the same thing. Okay, is the place in which living organisms survive. Okay, like that. Okay, and any forms of life survives. Okay, the life of the plants, the trees, like the grasses, and also the living organisms a lot, right? Whether it is macroorganisms or microorganisms. So we have the right to live. Nakakaloka. Okay? Muna siya. This is our environment or the ecology. Okay? Ecology. Now guys, to understand further the relevance of environmental chemistry or the environmental science in overall perspective, then we need to have environmental scientists in our planet Earth. So who are these environmental scientists? Actually, there's no specific courses for this. It depends on the experience and the knowledge and the additional trainings for professionals. After your bachelor's degree, you can proceed to environmental studies. Okay, anybody have the privilege to study environment, not only limited to engineering students or engineering graduates. Okay, because nowadays environmental engineers, environmental managers are very in demand. Okay, because this has been a regulatory body all over the world for the regulation of the waste controls. Okay, to help save our planet Earth. Okay, in the future and for the next years to come, for the survival of our generations. Okay, our children, the future of our children. So we need to have environmental sustainability. Okay, so waste management system is very important as the center of study of environmental engineers and environmental managers. Meaning of waste management system, meaning solid, liquid, and gas waste management system. Not only limited to solid waste management. Again, it goes back to matter. Okay? Matter. Okay? Phase. BHASE. Solid, liquid, gas. Anything that has mass and occupies space. Or matter. Ganon. So, ang environment natin siya matter per me. Solid, liquid, and gas. Okay? And there's always living and non-living organisms or living and non-living things. Ganon. And these non-living things and non-living living organisms are found in these three habitats: land, water, and air. And these land, water, and air are complementary with each other. Then these all types of living organisms will not survive without these three habitats. Right? Okay, we have to study this one by one, but we cannot finish this in only 2 hours or 3 hours. We will try to discuss it in details. Okay, the technical terms and other terminologies regarding to environment. Guys, I really love environment because this has been my masteral study. Okay, because I studied this and I was not able to finish and complete this masterals in University of San Carlos, Calamba. Okay, I did not finish. Okay, but I will try to finish that in the future. Okay, but I don't know when. Okay, maybe after 5 years, after 2 years, after 3 years, or whatever. Because I really need to study the environment. Okay, because we need to nurture our environment to save our children. Really. So I have the vision to help that out, to nurture and care our planet Earth. Something. Our planet Earth, guys, is already 3 billion years old. 3 billion years old plus. And we need to protect this very, very old Earth. Something like that, okay? And it's our main responsibility to do that without any instructions from any private sectors or government sectors, because we have the inherent responsibility to care our environment. It starts within us. Okay? It cannot be taught in the school, okay, or nobody will teach us to do that, but it's our main responsibility just to protect ourselves and also the generations to generations to come. And I thank you. Okay, going back to environment, it's very clear now how we have the three habitats that we have for our survival. Okay, now, environment is the ecology. Okay, now, we need to understand also the interaction of living organisms and the plants and animals or whatever chu in the environment. So that's what we call as ecosystem. Okay, if we differentiate ecosystem and ecology, the ecosystem has an interaction or communication between the living organisms and the non-living organism or other chu whatever. Okay, whether it could be macro living organisms, micro living organisms, and the plants and animals, or the total nature, our natural resources, like that. Okay. Now, ecology is simply the environment. Meaning to say, it doesn't talk about the people as long as it is an environment. Okay, meaning land, air, and the sea or the water. But the ecology, nagit yung mga interaction. Not only for the human being interaction, could it be man-made interaction or artificial interaction. Okay? Okay, what example for this? Another interaction is due to industrial processes. This is also interaction to the environment. Okay? different factories, different plants producing a lot of physical and chemical separation processes that will produce products in the environment. Could it be the throw or dispose that into the landfill, in the incineration area, or it could be in the sea, something like that, whatever. Okay, so that's also a part of interaction. That's already ecosystem. So basically ecosystem is gonna be like this, plants and animals, okay, in the environment, plus the industrial processes, okay, man-made, not natural, okay, something like that. That's why we need to be responsible for our wastes produced. Okay, that's why we need to have waste management system, and we need to implement the 4 Okay, and these are the very, very important strategies and techniques for environmental engineers and environmental managers, which are the first R stands for the reduction of wastes from the source. Okay. Second, the reuse. We need to reuse our waste that are still be reusable. Okay. Number 3, we need to have recycling. We need to recycle this waste if that have usage pa. Okay. Number 4, we have the recovery of our waste so that we can save our energy resources, and we can also minimize the waste that will be exposed to the land, air, and to the sea. Oh, ganun siya, di ba? So it's very, very important. Now, we need to distinguish the difference between reuse and recycle. It looks like the same, but there's a little difference. When we mean of recycle, we need to reuse the items in the same purpose that was before. Okay? But reuse, we can use again the waste by another purpose, not the same as before. So that is, okay, that is reuse. Okay? And recycling is reuse that for another application already. Okay? So there's a little difference. Actually, reuse and recycle is not the same. Okay? When we recycle things, we can use that to other application. But reuse, we use that again for the same application, usage, utilization, and purpose. Something like that. Synonyms again, utilization, usage, application, and purpose. Okay? So that's English, right? Vocabulary. Okay. Now going to the environment, we have the ecology and the ecosystem. I am talking too fast, guys. If you cannot really understand the English, but I'm talking too fast. Okay, you can object. So Sotero, just slow down a bit because I cannot understand some of your words. Okay, I will just slow down. Okay, and then issue a slow down momentum in my discussion. Oh, momentum talaga, right? Okay, ecology and ecosystem. Okay, ganun siya. Now, if you take Masterals, oh my gosh, nakakaloka.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Now, if you take so the best for this, guys, you know, if you are still a high school student and you'll be graduating from your senior high, then if you love really the environment, then you need to take up first bachelor's degree of environmental engineering, BS environmental engineering. I think only University of San Jose Recoleto Cebu in the Visayas offers this course, USGR in Colon, Cebu. Okay, now after that we'll proceed to Masters of Environmental Studies or Masters of Environmental Science that University of San Carlos and UP Cebu has been offering. Okay, only 2. UP Cebu, the SRP branch, not the Laho branch, offers MS Masters of Environmental Science Studies, and then also the University of San Carlos. But USGR has no Masters of Environment. Okay, so CIT don't have environmental engineering bachelor's course. Okay, guys, that's very clear. Okay, so mag-charge ako, guys. Uy, kinalubat yung ko in fairness. O ganan. Kaloka. Okay, guys, di na ako magbayad pa ito tamat. Magawag akong voice, di ba? In fairness. Kaloka. Okay, I should make my voice louder. Okay, ganon. Now, guys, if you try to talk and discuss these 3 habits that I mentioned a while ago, this moment in time will not be finished because I have to talk first the land, the water, and the atmosphere. Now, we need to talk about first the atmosphere because the atmosphere is very, very wide. Okay, layers to layers, regions to regions. But before that, also, I need to discuss also the another general or totality of the habitats that we have before tackling for the atmosphere, regions to regions, layers to layers, or whatever, chuva chu chu. Now, again, so we have the land, the water, and the air. So now we will focus now for the totality. Okay, in terms of number one, land. Okay, land stands for the lithosphere. 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 Lithosphere is talking about the land, the Earth's crust, something like that. Most of the biologists study the lithosphere. Okay, this is the region of the Earth's crust. Lithosphere. Okay, ganon, lithosphere. Now we go to the water. Water is the, if we have hydrostatic pressure, we mean water. We have also the hydrosphere, meaning hydro is water or aqua, okay, or marine, something like that, okay? Aqua, marine, water, or hydro. So that stands for water. So hydrosphere. Okay. Your technique, guys, upon memorization is you need to determine that it has a sphere in the end. Sphere. S-P-H-E-R-E. So, and add the prefix term. Lithosphere. Ganon. Hydrosphere. So that we can easily memorize what we are trying to refer to. What kind of habitat is that? Okay. Hydrosphere. Ganon. Water siya ha. And now we have also the life or the biosphere. Okay, biosphere, the life of living organisms. Okay, including the plants. Okay, because the plants also will live, right? The trees, like that, the vegetation, the flora and the fauna, like that. You get the point? Something like this under of the biosphere. Biosphere meaning bio plus sphere. Bio means life or biology, the study of the plants and animals, like that. The branch of pure science that deals with the study of plant and animals is called biology. Okay, meaning life or bio. So that is biosphere. Number 4, we have the air. Okay, the air is the atmosphere now. Atmosphere. So there's still a sphere plus atmo. Atmo, I think it's a Greek term, refers to the air. Okay, the gaseous components in our planet Earth. Something like that. So that is atmosphere. So atmosphere. So that's gonna be like this. So we need to understand lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and atmosphere. Right? Something like that. So normally this kind of discussion will just come out in the quiz bowl or science quiz. Okay, or in any examination, board examination, or whatever examinations that are indulged with. Okay, especially if you love pure sciences and you are very academically, active, like that in terms of science subject, then you usually represent your school in any competition or science competition. Then usually this kind of topics will come out in the quiz bowls or quizzes, something like that. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. You get the point? Okay. Now, we are focusing first, we need to go first to the most detailed one first before tackling the water or the hydrosphere and the lithosphere. I need to discuss about atmosphere first because it's very enjoyable. Okay, there's hazardous air pollutants, airborne pollutants, gases, reaction, the latent vaporization, the latent of condensation, the process of condensation and the evaporation, vaporization, okay, the humidity, something like temperature, pressure in the, in the atmosphere. So very interesting. First, I must tackle this atmosphere and later the others, right? Okay, atmosphere. Okay, this is the first lesson. Wow, ang dami na nasabi. Tapos first lesson pa lang ito. So, atmosphere. Okay. Atmosphere also are subdivided of atmosphere. Inyong timanan guys, ang sphere nga word. Okay, di ba in algebra we have the area of a square, of a sphere. Ganon. 4 pi r squared. Okay, the volume of a sphere, 4 third pi r cube. I forgot, but it looks like that in algebra, or shall we say in differential calculus, right? The volume of a sphere, the area of a sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E, sphere, meaning there's a circular circular or round. Okay, something like that. So, atmosphere, okay? Okay, dinati kong atmosphere, guys. So, this is gases and air. Okay? Muna siya yung hitabo. Okay? And then composed of, could either be hazardous air pollutants, gas airborne contaminants, or airborne contaminants. Okay, ganon. Now, we need to talk for this atmosphere. Okay, the first region we have that troposphere. Charot. Okay. Kung saan yung troposphere? Later I will be discussing this to you guys. Troposphere. Okay. Okay. And then number 2 we have the stratosphere. Okay. Stratosphere. Okay. Number 3 we have the mesosphere. Okay. Mesosphere. Okay. Ganon. Okay, number 4, we have the thermosphere. Okay, ganon. So if you want to memorize immediately, okay, then just try to detect the prefix, okay, prior to the sphere term, okay? And then we have the thermosphere, okay? Thermosphere, and the last one will be the exosphere. Okay, so when you memorize this, guys, take note the acronym. Okay, for easy and faster memorization. Okay, we have like this, so TSMTE, meaning troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Be careful for these regions. We have region that is very hot. Okay, that no life can exist. Okay, these are the thermosphere. Okay, thermosphere is 1,200 degrees Celsius. Okay, very hot. Okay, and this exosphere is above 1,200 degrees Celsius. So because this thermosphere can be 1,200 degrees and a little bit lower, but this exosphere is 1,200 degrees above. So no life can exist there. This very last region of the atmosphere. Okay, even the jet, the airplane cannot go there. Okay, in the exosphere because they will be burned. You get the point? Okay, because the jet engine or the airplane is made of metal. I think normally that is titanium or platinum. The construction metal of that particular airplane. So these metals will start to burn or to melt at this temperature too much high. Okay, 1,200 degrees Celsius and above. Okay, so they are just until the mesosphere. This airplane, this helicopter or this jet like that. But the spaceship will go beyond that to the outer space. Why? Because it's very quick and very fast. Like that, and the temperature cannot affect because of a very high velocity. The temperature cannot affect that one if the velocity is very high. In science concept also, if very high velocity, then the temperature cannot affect that one. Okay, there's a greater turbulency of the speed or the velocity of that spaceship. Okay, like that in the outer space. So muagi na siya sa, it will just exosphere and the thermosphere, which are very hot regions in our atmosphere. Okay. Later we will now talking also the relation of temperature and pressure in different regions, and we need also to determine the proportionality with regards to the altitude and the height from the Earth's surface to our atmosphere going to the outer space. Something like that. Now, if you really love science, then you will be enjoying to study this, even though you are not a scientist. Okay, something like that. Even your course is just related to, to sciences, just like us. Our course is BS Chemical Engineering, so it mostly preferred in science subjects, right? So you will be most interested in this kind of topic, okay? Because it's related, okay? So, for example, if your course is also business, finance, banking and finance, psychology, like that. So it's very far from science. Also, you don't have to love this type of discussion, right? But there are also people love to listen because they love also science. It's just that their course are money matters like that, or not really related to science. But some of the medical science or the health professionals will love this because it's related to science. This particular topic, the environment, the ecology, the health is related to science really, okay? Interconnected, if you try to connect the dots. Okay, now, so these are the atmosphere. Again, the first region is the troposphere, the second region is the stratosphere, the third region is the mesosphere, the fourth region is the thermosphere, and the fifth region is the exosphere. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we don't touch this too much in the higher regions, so nobody will survive there. Okay, at least we are now in the troposphere. Okay, guys, the troposphere, guys, is the lowest region in the atmosphere. Lowest with ST. Okay, lowest. And then it is a lower boundary of the stratosphere. Okay, normally the airplane, the helicopter will just be go in the stratosphere and in the mesosphere. It's impossible for them to go to the thermosphere and exosphere because very hot, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, take note the regions. Okay, when we travel to our country of origin or any other world, oh my gosh, we are here in the stratosphere. Like imagining like that, okay? So it's very also helpful to have a mentality and culture to do that. For example, if I am still a student and there's a discussion of science or whatever, I need to apply the terms in my day-to-day life. Just by my mind, oh my gosh, I am now in the turbulent, ganan. Okay, and I'm not in laminar flow already, ganan. Okay, so I must compute the Reynolds number in order, what's the flow of this water that come out in the hose. Really, when I was in college, really, for example, if I go to fetch water, and then I, like that, okay, pobre tayo mi, di ba? Okay, kung ra puso ramong gamiton, and then the water will flow there, and I will also think, oh my gosh, what is the velocity of the water when it will reach the bay? Like that, I always do that in my day-to-day life, and it can also help you to understand well, okay, your course related to science, or particularly pure science. Yes, it will really help a lot, guys, not only in the classroom instruction. It will not end up in the classroom instruction. It will be applied in your day-to-day life. Something like that. The pure sciences. Because without pure sciences, everybody will die. Okay? Because chemistry alone, if there's no oxygen, nobody will survive in the planet Earth. Okay? Oxygen alone, when you wake up, there's an oxygen in your room because you have AC. So you will die if there's no oxygen. So that's already chemistry. Okay, chemistry you will encounter it second to second. Okay, just like biology, you encounter it second to second because of biological substances in our body. Okay, we need to go to urine to remove the urea, ganon, propionic acid, uric acid, electrolytes, different kinds of salt, phosphates, sulfates, like that. So that's already biology and chemistry in there. Okay, so meaning to say we cannot survive without science, particularly health science. Okay, and then there's a chemistry in that. Physics also, not necessarily, because physics are studying more on the energy, motion, okay? But when we walk, not necessarily we need to compute the velocity. It's not necessarily that important, but this biology and chemistry really are the most important pure sciences that we have. Okay, and the environmental chemistry. See, like that, always chemistry, environmental chemistry, okay, ganon. And also clinical chemistry for the prevention of diseases, right? Okay, like that. So, now we need to study the relationship of the temperature and pressure, and the altitude and the height of this region from the Earth's crust. Okay, something like that. So, what is the height of this troposphere from the Earth's crust to the atmosphere? So it's gonna be minimum of 10 to 11, like this, kilometer from the Earth's crust, vertical height. You should measure that 10 kilometer. That's the vertical height from the ground to the atmosphere. That is the height of the troposphere. And now you can determine that also, because when you ride an airplane, the height also will be discussed by the pilot. Oh, we are now reaching, 25,000 miles. Ganon. So convert. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. O ganon. O diba? O 1 feet, how many meters? Or 1 feet is equal to 0.3048 meters. Or 3.28 meters is equal to 1 feet. And then 1,000 meter is equal to kilometer. Then bingo. You can solve kilometer from mile. Okay, conversion factors. Okay, so in that, you can have several units, and then our starting unit will be in terms of kilometer. Something, if you need mile, no problem for that. Okay, you can compute. So memorize the conversion factors, the basic conversion factors, especially elevation in meters or distance in meters. Very, very common for all engineers. Okay, for all engineers, and the most common is the metric system. Okay, so we should inject that in our brain cells. Okay, now we have that is a troposphere. Okay, and now what is the temperature here? Temperature. Nakakaluka ang temperature dito. So imagine if we have the wrong temperature of 20, oh my gosh. Wait for a while. Yoyo si John. Okay. If we have the temperature at the room temperature, let's say 20 degrees Celsius up to 25 degrees Celsius, so these are the range of ambient temperature, right? Ambient. Okay? So, basically, the temperature of the troposphere runs to 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, like that. Okay, guys? It's very clear. 15 degrees Celsius to 56.5. Okay, 56.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, to negative. Negative ha, 56.5 degrees Celsius. Why negative, Sir Sotero? Negative siya, guys, because if we keep increasing the latitude or the height from the Earth's crust, the temperature of the air, because we mean here the temperature of the dry air, there's no moisture, and the water vapor has not been considered in the study. For this, so temperature of the dry air will reduced. So meaning to say, if it will totally be reduced until negative 56.5 degrees Celsius. That's why other parts of the country have negative degrees Celsius, just because of this principle that in the troposphere, it's still under the negative 56.5 degrees Celsius. I think also the Antarctica region, it's still in the troposphere. So that's the range maximum. Okay, and then sometimes also in Taiwan, because I've been working in Taiwan before, we reach also to negative 10 degrees Celsius, negative 5 degrees Celsius, because I've worked 3 years in Taiwan in the quality assurance department of one of the electronics industry there in Taoyuan, China. Okay, so we always take a bath there. Oh my gosh, very cold, really, negative something. Okay, so we adjust always all the time the heater in our camp, something like that. So that's the reason why 15 degrees Celsius to negative 56.5 degrees Celsius. Other parts of the world are also very cold, and it's still in the troposphere region, in the atmosphere. Okay, that's very clear, right? Okay, any questions so far? Oh my gosh, like that. Now we have the stratosphere. Guys, the stratosphere, okay, is 12 kilometer to 50 kilometer vertical height from the Earth's surface. Now, what is the temperature? Ganon, diba, chucho? Okay. What is the temperature for this? Ganon. So we will, starting from negative 56.5 degrees Celsius also to 2 degrees Celsius. Ganon. Negative 2 degrees Celsius. Okay? Nakaloka, di ba? Napakalamig talaga siya, guys. Okay? Okay, so negative 56.5 degrees Celsius to negative 2 degrees Celsius. Oh my gosh. Right? Why negative 2? Because higher value is less than lesser value kung negative siya. Right? You got the point? If talking about negative, the higher the value, the one it is lesser. Okay? Reverse siya in the positive. The more higher value, higher talaga siya. For example, I have negative 10, I have negative 8. Which is higher? The higher is negative, okay, the higher is negative 8, not the negative 10. But for the positive sign, the higher is 10, not the 8. Okay, so the same principle with this from negative 56.5 to negative 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, for the stratosphere. Okay, and now we go to the mesosphere. Mesosphere is 51 kilometer to 90 kilometer latitude or vertical height from the Earth's surface. So we have negative 2 degrees Celsius, ganon, okay? And then for about 86.5 degrees Celsius, ganon siya, okay? Okay, get the point? Muna yung mahitabo, guys. Charot! Again, 2 degrees Celsius to negative 86.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, ganon. Okay, now for the thermosphere. Okay, 91 kilometer to Chuba Chucho. Okay, we have 800 kilometer. From the Earth's surface, mag-measure ka ni ining higayuna. From the Earth's surface to the atmosphere, meaning the latitude. Okay, the height. Okay, so our temperature will be from negative 86.5 to 1,200 degrees Celsius. Okay, now init na kayo dito sa thermosphere. Okay, no life will exist. Okay, and the metallic substance will start to melt in the thermosphere. How much more in the exosphere? Okay, exosphere is above 1,200 degrees Celsius and Chuba Chucho. So, everything will be burned there if you stay longer, except for the spaceship because it is very quick, a matter of 0.000 second, or missiles, like that. Okay, so it will just quick and the heat will not affect. Okay, like that. Just like when you have a lamp and there's a flame, if you like that your index finger will not burn, right? Will not be hurt if you move your finger in a horizontal movement side by side because due to the velocity. Okay, if the velocity is very fast, then the heat cannot affect. Unless your index finger will be stagnant or not moving, of course your index finger will be burned. Just like the principle also in the exosphere. Okay, so there's a lot will go there. Spaceship, too much quick speed and it will never be born, though the temperature is very high, above 1,200 degrees Celsius, from thermosphere region to exosphere. Okay, so these are now the composition regions of the atmosphere, and now we understand. Okay, so basically we are still living in the troposphere, from the Earth's surface, okay, from the Earth's surface to the troposphere. So we as human beings, as living organisms, okay, we are still in under 10 to 11 kilometers from the ground. Okay, so sa first level pag yun ta. Okay, sa troposphere yun ta. Okay, kaya di ta mabuhi kung ato na ta sa stratosphere. Okay, wala na yuta. Okay, something like that. Okay, so how can we do that if there's no land? Okay, we have gravity. Okay, all people, all objects have gravity directly towards the Earth, which is, the value is 9.81 meter per second squared. Okay, and then 32.2 feet per second squared. The gravity, the gravitational pull of the Earth's surface. Okay, so how can we go to the stratosphere alone without any equipment or any airplane or jet in going there? So atur kita sa Earth o sa troposphere kutob ang pinakataas. Okay? Even though sa highest sa troposphere, di kita maka-adto if we don't have equipment to use well. Okay, di kita pwede mulupad. Right? We are not allowed to fly. We're not allowed to fly without any equipment or device or machinery. Okay, naturally we cannot do that unless we are witch, WTCH, or Dracula, or like that, or a monster, whatever, or zombie that we can fly. Anyone we want. Anything we want. Okay, ganun siya guys. Ako na siya ang atmosphere. And now, thank you so much for watching this live streaming, for talking about the environmental system. But I still have so many to discuss, guys. I need to discuss also the ecological processes, industrial processes, but I need to discuss this tomorrow, okay, for the other habitats. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, you can comment down below in the comment section, and then you can also subscribe my YT channel if you like. And you can click the notification bell for some newest updates of I Am a Singer, Eternal Voice. Bye-bye. God bless everybody. See you later. Mabuhay! O, diba? Ganon. Okay. Nakakaloka.